Hey everyone, so now that you've already watched my video that I've uploaded, well, hopefully you've watched it, and if you haven't, yeah, I suggest you go do check that out. Help me out, that's the thing, folks. I need you to subscribe, I need you to like, I need you to share. That's another thing, you gotta share. So don't just, don't be selfish, don't just consume it for yourself, share it with others. I do it for a lot of people. Matter of fact, some of the people that are competition to me is out there as far as YouTubers, right? In reality, you would probably think that, well, it's not a good idea for me to promote them because they're in competition with me. But at the end of the day, because I have the same kind of goals as a lot of these people, is I don't look at them as necessarily competition. I mean, to a certain degree, and I enjoy some competition. That kind of helps raise my standards. When someone's doing something equivalent to me, it's like, well, I want to up my game. I want to up my standards and hopefully be competitive in that venture and do better in some way. But at the same time, if at the end of the day, when we're talking about like things in regards to politics or philosophy or economics, if the end goal, if we're all traveling down the same path and the end goal is we want to get to a point of individual liberty and the respect of personal freedom, then I don't know, whoever gets there first, that's great and all, but like I say, I'm just happy to be a fellow traveler, and I'm more than willing to support those who are traveling down that same path or in that general direction. Don't be scared of competition, embrace it. It actually does wonders for your own ambitions. But yeah, I'm very appreciative of the fact that there are more and more Canadians who are stepping up the plate to not just challenge the status quo and the ruling establishment, to help better educate, inform, and properly enlighten the Canadian people in regards to what's actually happening out there around them in this big old country, or in this particular issue along our border. So at the very least, support those who are challenging the status quo and the ruling establishment, whether it's me or anyone else. Do your best, and like I say, you got to get the information out there to people that really necessarily need to hear it. If you're already pretty knowledgeable on the topic, good for you, but there are a whole lot of Canadians who aren't, which is not just bad for them, but also bad for the rest of us. So help them, which will in turn help you, and will also in turn help this country be on a proper path going forward. Headline out of True North: Border Union raises the alarm on lack of resources to deal with bogus refugee claims. Official figures show that during the first 6 months of 2019, 26,860 people crossed into the country illegally. This is by True North Wire, August 21st, 2019. According to the union representing Canada Border Services Agency employees, the department doesn't have enough resources to keep track of all of the bogus refugee claimants who have been ordered for deportation. The number of migrants crossing illegally into Canada has steadily increased since 2018. Official figures show that during the first 6 months of 2019, 26,860 people crossed into the country illegally. That's right, illegally. Not irregularly, illegally. According to the president of the Customs and Immigration Union, Jean-Pierre Fortin, the CBSA would need to double its number of agents to properly handle keeping track of those who have been denied asylum. The people who do check them within CBSA, it's a very small group called Inland Enforcement Officers, said Fortin. Recent reports have revealed that a number of illegal immigrants from Mexico with serious criminal backgrounds have made it into Canada with phony passports and have since fallen off the radar. It is believed that approximately 400 Mexican cartel members have gained access to the country since Prime Minister Justin Trudeau lifted visa requirements for Mexico. Canadian officials are struggling to keep track of the large number of violent criminals, some of which are believed to be hitmen and drug traffickers. CBSA border officials admit that since the Liberal government announced the visa changes, the border with the United States has seen an 80% increase in drug seizures, along with a 500% increase in inadmissibility. Further, as reported by True North, in British Columbia, the CBSA has revealed that they are receiving people with unknown nationalities after being processed by the RCMP. For various reasons, there are times when the CBSA cannot immediately determine a person's country of origin upon their arrival in Canada, said CBSA Western Canada Communications Officer Luke Reimer. A Freedom of Information request with the RCMP revealed that over half of the migrants crossing illegally into BC from Washington were of an unknown nationality. We certainly don't have the resources to track them down and to deport them, said Fortin about the general situation. So there you go, folks. Just one more example. And this is on that west side of Canada. This isn't even referencing the Quebec, that Roxham Road. And we've seen, I mean, there's lots of video. And thank goodness for those of you that are part and parcel of the alternative media, because the established media has been doing a job of sending people down there, reporters down there to see what's going on down there at Roxham Road. But we have seen what's going on down there thanks to those who are in the alternative media. You know, people, like I say, that's the beautiful thing in the modern age that we live in, is you don't need reporters from these billion-plus-dollar crony or crown corporations. All you need is someone with a cell phone. Right? I mean, that alone speaks volumes, right? That video footage that they take down there at the border showing all those people crossing over there illegally and all those RCMP or CBSA officers basically being turned into baggage handlers for illegals crossing what? Because they're fleeing Trump in the U.S. Like, that alone is a joke. That is the biggest joke I've ever heard, because let me tell you, I'm a Canadian that I just wish that I could just cross in the U.S. and I could be accepted and adopted down there, because if I could, well, you wouldn't even have to listen to the Canadian Libertarian anymore, because I'd strip the Canadian from my name that quick if I could become a U.S. citizen. That's how disenfranchised I am with the ruling establishment, not just the political class, but those who represent, like I say, the laws, the legislature, the judges. Like, this country has become so massively and profoundly corrupt to the core. And like I say, the people that don't know that, well, it's because you've never challenged your political masters or your so-called authorities. Try it sometime and you'll find out just how really oppressive the regimes in this country truly can be. The difference is they got some good sales pitches and tactics. Why? They got $1 billion+ news organization or crown or crony corporation that does all the damage control and the PR campaigning for them, so that most people around the world don't realize just how authoritarian the Canadian corporate and political class can be in this country. Like I say, it's pretty bad. It's pretty profound. But what it is, I don't know, goes all the way back, I guess, to the English portions of Canadian society, where they just want to stick their nose up and pretend that, you know, everything's okay. I keep that stiff upper lip, but in reality, it's like, damn, yeah, you're everything behind you. We can see behind you, and like the walls, the ceiling, the sky, everything's crumbling down around you. But I guess, like I say, under the British kind of mentality or their way of doing things is, let's just keep a nice, like a stiff upper lip and a big smile on our face while the whole world comes crashing down around us, right? That's not a good idea. That's not a good way to do things. Matter of fact, really, when that kind of stuff starts happening, you really should start being a little bit more alarmist. I'm not saying to be overly alarmist, but at least acknowledge that genuine reality when you see it. Because like I say, if you're just trying to close your eyes or plug your ears and pretend that reality is not actually unfolding in front of them, well, that reality is still going to unfold. You might not see it, you might not hear it, but it's still going to unfold regardless. And like I say, in Canada, thanks to Justin Trudeau, and listen, he's just the newest iteration. Well, I mean, Harper might not have put up with this stuff, but he just would have found another way. What? Supported or promoted the temporary foreign worker program to bring some people in this country, right? So, well, like I say, they did the same thing. So, look, the Libcons, like, they function from that same realm of central planned, top-down authoritarian collectivism. Sure, they'll bicker back and forth in the particular nuances and how they want to be your ruler, but at the end of the day, they still want to be your ruler. I'll just might as well point it right here now. You don't have to pick from rulers or lessers of evils anymore. You can actually choose to have someone that's actually wants to represent your values, your principles, and what it means to be free. And the person that wants to do that is Maxime. And the rest of the people that want to do that as well are all those members, supporters, and candidates who represent the PPC across the 338 ridings in this country. And those are the people, like I say, they don't want to necessarily be your rulers. They want to be your representatives and bullhorns for your voices. Which is why, like I say, that's a party today that I can definitely get behind and support. Because I can say, as an adult Canadian who's 48 years old, yeah, I'm a little bit sick and tired of people trying to rule over me. Tell you the truth, I don't even really necessarily need someone to represent me. But hey, it's still a whole lot better than being ruled over. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.